Hey everyone, welcome back to Champion the Passion, a weekly pro wrestling podcast where we inspire you to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love. I'm your host, my name is Victoria Daisy, and today we're going to be recapping everything that happened last night on Friday Night Smackdown. But before we get into the episode, don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. Now, let me pause. Before I even get to SmackDown, if you guys are watching on YouTube or Spotify, do you notice anything different? Long gone are the days of hideous, naked, ugly backgrounds. And if you are listening, I just fixed up the background of my podcast episodes, of my YouTube videos, of my office. Recently, we turned one of our spare bedrooms into an office for me because you know what? We take things serious around here. Anyways, for a while, when I originally moved things around into this room, it was just a plain white wall with nothing on it. I think I had like one picture frame and it was bad. But you know what? Over my 2 off days that I just had, we painted the wall pink, and I have 2 little singular cubicles that have some of my fun stuff in there, and then 2 title belts on top. That's a description for those not watching. For those watching, you have to see everything behind me. Now, here's the thing. I'm not fully in love with everything that's in the cubicles. I love that I have Rhea and Dom right there, John Cena, Funko Pop, CM Punk. Right here, I have some Taylor Swift stuff, and then over here, I have some football stuff. Now, if you are listening and you do not see, no, I'm not a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I can be a Swiftie and an NFL fan at the same time, and it doesn't have to correlate. Anyways, I'm a New York Giants fan. Go Big Blue. Quaking for the draft, but that's something we could talk about another time. Anyways, so I have like a Disney collectible Minnie Mouse figurine situation, whatever. There's a lot of stuff and like random action figures. Nothing is fully set. I also have 2 other belts that I might hang and a sign, whatever. We're just in the baby steps, the beginning steps of this all. But let's get into Friday Night Smackdown because that's what you guys came for. So the opening segment is Cody Rhodes talking about how Jey Uso picked Gunther. He was basically saying that, you know, with his pick for his match at WrestleMania, now leaves all eyes fixated on him and the Elimination Chamber. He talked about everyone in the chamber and how they all have fair shots at winning, but then he said there's one person who will not win the Elimination Chamber, and somebody who's actually not even in the chamber to begin with, and that is Solo Sikoa. Before he could even continue to speak, Drew McIntyre interrupted. Oh, Drew basically is yapping about how he's won 2 chambers and he can do it again and he will find a way to be Cody and all this stuff. And I'm like, stop yapping. You're just being typical Drew, and I really don't care. Now, Cody Rhodes said something that was kind of a clock in a way. This is a direct quote from Cody Rhodes. He says, "I can count on one hand the men that have beaten me since I returned, and you're one of them, Drew, and I have not forgotten." What? Anyways, before that could even continue, our king, Jacob Fatu, came out. Now, a little side note, something that I do want to mention is the fact that Jacob got a huge pop when his music hit, which I was not expecting. And when he got to the ring, the crowd was loudly chanting Jacob Fatu, and I was not prepared for that at all, but we love to see it. So Jacob basically says that right now he is all gas, no brakes, and he is going to earn his way into the Elimination Chamber. He said he's going to win the chamber and bring back the title home after WrestleMania because it should have never left the bloodline. Cody said, and this is a quote from him, he said, "If you can get through 5 other men in the chamber, then we can fight over this." The camera pans outside really quickly, and this footage is shown to the arena and the people in the ring. The camera pans outside to a car pulling up. And who pops out of the car? Solo Sikoa. And they capture him entering the building. Now, Jacob told Cody that he needs to talk to Solo first to discuss family business. Then Cody absolutely cooks Jacob, and he said, "You can get the first word, but I sure as hell will get the last." Mic drop. That was literally insane. Moving right along into a women's elimination chamber qualifying match, we had Naomi versus Chelsea Green. Now, this was a very good match. These 2 in the ring are incredibly underrated. Both by themselves and together. Both women are also such characters, so overall this was a very fun match. But in the end, Naomi won and is now advancing to the women's elimination chamber. Now, if we go back to a week or two ago, we know that Kevin Owens had posted a little video on the Twitter tweet, I believe it, or X if you will. It was last week actually. And he was basically talking about, why he attacked Sami Zayn, because we were all kind of gagged. We're like, bro, why did you attack your friend? Because we know Sami was there to help him at the Royal Rumble when he was getting severely attacked in that match with Cody. I digress. Let's talk about the video. So Sami said that his neck isn't doing well. There was a few things with some nerves, I believe he said. He said, it's been hard to fully process everything that's happened the last few weeks with Kevin Owens. He continues then to say that in his eyes, Sami's eyes, being a good friend looks like going out to check on Kevin when he's being hurt severely in a match. Pure example, the Royal Rumble. But in Kevin's eyes, it's cheating to help him win. And he said that they see things differently. They don't see eye to eye. Sami doesn't want to cheat to win. He believes to earn it. Now, he doesn't know when he'll be cleared, but he said when he is cleared, he's coming for Kevin. Now, later on SmackDown, we ended up seeing Kevin's response video, which we'll get to later. Moving right along into a very interesting match. Actually, it was not that interesting, but the Motor City Machine Guns versus Los Garza. It was a good match, but again, nothing that interesting. So I don't even know why I just said interesting 5 seconds ago. It's because I thought it was another match. Whatever. I rave about Motor City Machine Guns every single week because they are simply just that good. They definitely carried this match for sure, no doubt about it. I mean, obviously in the end they won, God bless, because if Los Garza won, I think I would have been fuming, but you know what, it's fine. Now, what happened earlier with Jacob needs to be studied more. And it is right now. We had a Bloodline 2.0 backstage segment in the locker room. So Jacob is asking Solo what's going on. Solo said that he had to take time off after losing the Ulafala at Raw's debut on Netflix at the beginning of the year because he feels like he let everyone down and he hasn't felt like himself at all. And while Jacob should be a understanding cousin, a family member, he is not. But Solo continues and said, he's good now. He's ready to go. He's ready to dominate this company. He told Jacob to go all the way and bring the title back to the family. But like I just said, Jacob and Tama were there and they should have been understanding. But instead, they stormed off mad, walking away. Didn't even say a word. I was like, bro, you suck. Actually, L family member. Are you joking? I was gagged. Anyways. Then we move on to, actually, I won't spoil it. If you know what comes at the end of every episode, then if you're a real one, then you may know. But I won't say anything. Let's move on into the Shinsuke Nakamura segment, aka the Mid-Card Mania segment, as I like to call it. So Shinsuke came out and said for 4 weeks straight, he's waited in the shadows for a worthy challenger. But there has been no one to rise above him. He continues to talk a little bit in Japanese, which I wasn't able to acquire the translations to. But LA Knight ended up coming out. We know I love LA Knight. He's a king. We stand him in this area, in this podcast. We stand him. So one thing I need to say, though, is that LA Knight needs to take back his rightful spot as United States champion because he's an absolute icon. He is championship material. So LA said to Shinsuke that he's playing two lies and a truth. Not two truths and a lie, two lies and a truth. LA said that he's beaten everyone in his way since the last time that him and Shinsuke have been in the ring. He said that he is the test and that Shinsuke has already failed the test because everyone is saying, and then he went to the crowd, LA Knight, yeah. The Miz interrupts. This is why I said mid-card mania. This is where the fuel starts to pick up. What is it? Fuel in the fire? Is that what the saying is? Whatever. You guys know what I'm trying to say. The Miz said that he sees what Shinsuke sees. That LA isn't worthy. LA then says it's been a decade since Miz has been relevant, which is literally facts. He said that he's glad to see Miz because he honestly forgot that he was even here. Fact again, no lies detected here. Miz starts crying, and crying as in fake crying, because last week LA said it's okay for men to cry, and LA responded to that and said, yes, it is okay for men to cry if it comes to that point, but the two worst crybabies in the WWE are The Miz and Drew McIntyre, and they are neck and neck for that. Crazy pop from the crowd when that happens. Obviously, when I tell you guys about things that happen on these shows, it doesn't sound as great because I'm not LA Knight in the middle of a ring in a sold out arena saying this to The Miz or Shinsuke Nakamura or things like that. So like, give me some grace. I am literally just recapping this and sharing my 2 cents on everything that happens in every show because it's fun and you guys like to listen and we like to converse in the comments. So if you guys actually want to see what happened, please, I advise you, go watch the show. And if you already did, then you already know. Anyways, LA said he doesn't need that title, but the title needs him. One thing I gotta say though is LA Knight has the potential, I'm not saying he is or he will, he has the potential to go down after his career is over as one of the GOATs for promos and trash talking. And I know you're probably like, whoa, Victoria, that's crazy statement to make. I understand that, but do you not watch his segments? Do you not hear the comedic, witty things he says? Gold. Absolute gold. So Nick Aldis came out to announce that right after this segment will be the #1 contendership match for the United States Championship. So we went to commercial, we came back, and that's what we had. It was a really good match. Obviously, LA Knight is good, or great, I should say. He's great. But I forgot low-key how low-key good The Miz is in the ring. Like, I low-key forgot. He's not great, but like, he ain't too bad, and I totally forgot. Because again, like LA said, we haven't seen him in a decade. He hasn't been relevant in a decade. I forgot he was even here. So in the end, LA Knight won and is now the #1 contender for Shinsuke Nakamura's United States Championship. After the match, LA and Shinsuke went face to face and kind of just trash talked a little bit, not on the mic, but just to each other's faces. Then we have one of the biggest gags of the century and one of the biggest gags of the night. We had a little Nia Jax backstage segment. And the way we started off was with a gag. Okay, because longtime frenemies Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss met face to face for the first time in years. Okay, so Alexa starts off by saying, "Hi Nia, hope you do better in your match with Tiffany than Candice did." Okay, why'd you have to shoot fire immediately? Like, what? That was crazy. So Candice almost like lost her crap and Nia was like, chill. Then Alexa said that her and Lily were thinking if Nia wins the title last night and Alexa wins the Elimination Chamber, then they can go face to face once again at WrestleMania. That needs to happen at some point. That's not going to happen this year or next year, but it should happen at some point because I think it'd be fun. So as Alexa's talking on the TV, one thing that I want to point out is that my TV was glitching. It wasn't just me. It was everybody. This was planned. It was showing snippets of Wyatt 6 pictures. So is this confirmation that she'll be with the Wyatts? Unless they're trying to do that stupid angle they did right before she left. It was like early 2023 when she was like in that feud with Bianca. It was the stupidest crap ever. They did this angle where she was possessed by Uncle Howdy, but I don't know. I don't know if they'll do that. Let's see how this pans out. Then Nia said she's familiar with friends betraying her and that she's fine. She doesn't need Alexa's help. Now, little spoiler alert, I thought Alexa was going to show up in that semi-main event. I'm just going to say semi-main event because it should have been the main event. Anyways, I thought she was going to interfere with Tiffany versus Nia in some capacity. Girl didn't show her face, so I don't know what happened with that. Because now I'm kind of like, okay, what did this mean then? This kind of meant nothing. Whatever. Now we move into a very weird, strange match, but like it was so entertaining for absolutely no reason. We had R-Truth versus Carmelo Hayes. Again, very strange matchup, but I'm here for it. This was interesting. One thing I gotta say is Carmelo Hayes is so fast in the ring. It's actually kind of concerning. Like, he goes by so fast, you never know what his next move is. Maybe it's the camera work helping him out a little bit too, but I literally couldn't keep up. Now, on the other side, R-Truth was low-key cooking. I forgot that he could wrestle that good. Like, I'm not saying he's like amazing, but he wasn't bad. And for being his age, like, he cooked. And honestly, overall, I enjoyed the match. But in the end, Carmelo Hayes did win. Now, the way that WWE tried to come up with this match is that there was this social media exclusive that happened earlier on, I think, X or something, with R-Truth telling Carmelo Hayes to watch out on his boy Tozawa, whatever. It was this whole thing, whatever. Now, let's move on to a Street Profits video package. Now, if you guys watched SmackDown last week and you watched my episode, you would have heard me raving about this video that they did. Now, it's a different video now, obviously, but I loved it. So I guess this is a sequel to it. When Dawkins is fully cleared, they said they are coming for each and every tag team. They are cleaning house, okay? Montez said that there's a deep frustration burning in their souls, and it's finally going to get shown to the world because they want the smoke. That was kind of like the little ending bit of their video. Now, I love this new attitude and energy from the Street Profits. I truly do believe when they are cleared, they will do significant damage to the SmackDown men's tag team division. I mean, SmackDown's tag team division is low-key on fire right now. I mean, you've got DIY, you've got the Street Profits, you've got Motor City Machine Guns. Pretty Deadly isn't too bad themselves, and they're getting a bit of a push right now, which I love. So I honestly could see them going all the way, taking those titles. I don't know if that's a match that happens at WrestleMania. I think it would be too soon to do it at Elimination Chamber, but you never know. We'll see. Now, earlier I was talking about Sami Zayn's response video to Kevin Owens' video last week, but Kevin did another video in response to what Sami had to say last night. He said that he's not doing good because in the last 6 months, he's gotten stabbed in the back and hurt and heartbroken by 3 guys that he would have taken bullets for. He said that Sami doesn't know what real pain is, so he'll show him. He wants to face Sami in the place where it all started for them, in Canada, at the Elimination Chamber. One thing I gotta say is I love how this story between Sami and Kevin is so timeless. They can honestly revisit this till the end of time. They have multiple times in the past, and they're doing it again now, and I love it. Now, let's get into the match that is the second to last match on last night's card, and in my opinion, should have main evented for many reasons. We need to start a movement, make women the main event, because the main event was not nearly as good as this entire match and segment that followed. So I gotta say though, WWE absolutely ate down with this storyline between Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. I mean, it was absolute cinema. Now, to the actual match itself, I gotta give props to Tiffany because she is so creative in the ring. That's something I didn't see much from her in NXT and didn't expect her to be like on the main roster, but she really has. I love how she's using her gymnastics background to her advantage to come up with unique sequences and moves that I truly have never seen before. And it's her strength. It's her strong suit that she can move the way she does from her gymnastics background. I believe she was on Team USA in the Olympics, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. And on the flip side, Nia Jax is an absolute icon, okay? And I love how she's a larger than life character, especially in the ring, which literally just adds to the match so much more. But overall, I thought it was fantastic. So many close calls and great moments. And like I said, should have definitely main evented. Now, towards the end, the way the match ended is that Candice LeRae interfered. And that's really when we started picking up some pace. While the match was very quick paced itself, a lot of drama happened right after this. So Candice and Nia start attacking Tiffany, and something I didn't expect at all, Trish Stratus came out to help Tiffany Stratton, which was crazy. It's Trishy time. Okay, it is literally Trishy time. So Trish and Candice go at it, and The ring was absolute madness, okay? But then what we were all waiting for, the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble winner, Charlotte Flair, came out. She interrupted the scene, and Charlotte clears the ring. Then she sets up a chair right in front of Tiffany, grabs a mic, and tells her that she chooses her to face at WrestleMania 41 for the WWE Women's Championship. Now, I'm pissed. Okay? Leave it to WWE to just absolutely screw up a title reign. Leave it to them. Leave it to them. Because you know what's going to happen? Tiffany's going to lose that title at WrestleMania. And that is not fair to her. You're treating her, it's giving peasant treatment. She's a princess. It's Tiffy time. What are you doing? Hello? She worked hard to get that Money in the Bank briefcase. Then she worked hard to scheme a perfect plan to turn on Nia, to cash in on Nia. All for what? For this? This is what, a 5-6 month title reign? That is not nearly enough. Actually, I don't even think it's been that. When did she cash in? It was like the last week of 2024, right? January, February, March, April, May. Oh, wait, sorry. I counted an extra month. 4 months! 4 months! Are you out of your mind? You're actually out of your mind. That's insanity. And then Charlotte wants to come here after 14 months. Hey guys, I'm going to absolutely sweep the floor and I'm going to run this place even though I haven't carried it for a second on my back in almost 2 years. Girl, absolutely not. I think not. So you know what? The only way Tiffany can retain is if they really build her up in the next 2 months. I highly doubt that's going to happen. But it bothers me so much because they're treating Tiffany like a bridge champion. If you watch the NFL, if you watch football, you understand what a bridge quarterback is. That is literally what they're treating Tiffany as. And that bothers me so much. But you know what? Let me stop because I'm kind of sweating right now. I have my ceiling fan on because I'm sweating. I'm angry. And this was not the way to do this. Why couldn't we do this at SummerSlam? Ever thought about SummerSlam? You didn't have to have Charlotte win the Rumble. What? It could have been at SummerSlam. Oh my God. Anyways, whoever wrote this portion of Tiffany's story, garbage. You deserve prison time. Jail. Anyways, now let's head backstage to Nick Aldis's office because we have some breaking news, some updates on the Jade Cargill story that's been going on. So Nick Aldis shows Bianca Belair and Naomi a video that got sent to him from an anonymous person. It shows a different angle of when Jade was being rushed into an ambulance after her attack. You can visibly see Naomi asking questions, scared, and then Bianca running to the scene. But when the camera turns left, you can see Liv and Raquel walking away from the scene and laughing. So while your first thought would be, okay, Liv and Raquel attacked Jade. No. Liv and Raquel did not attack Jade. It was Bianca. She was the evil mastermind through all of this. Okay? I've been saying this from day one that Bianca attacked Jade. And ever since the beginning, when Jade originally debuted in the WWE, I always felt a little bit of envy and jealousy coming from Bianca. It wasn't obvious. It was just a bit of an undertone. I don't know what the full motive is as to why she would go as far as attacking her. I don't know those details. But what I do know is Naomi's innocent. First of all, let's clear her name because she has nothing to do with this. But Bianca is buying herself time right now before she gets revealed as the attacker, as she's framing Liv and Raquel. Now, Liv and Raquel are heels. They don't care. They'll take anybody out. So it's light work for them. They don't really care. But what I do love about this is that when it does get revealed that Bianca is the attacker, it's going to be 100 times better or worse. We'll see. Because that cut is going to sting 1,000 times more when we realize how calculated Bianca really is and how she's the evil mastermind behind this all. And that is how she's going to turn on Naomi and Jade, and we're going to finally start the Jade Bianca storyline. Now, it's the middle of February. Jade is not back yet. I thought she was going to be back at the Rumble. So I don't know if that will happen at WrestleMania this year, but it definitely very well could happen at SummerSlam this year, which is in August. Gives us a few extra months to play around with this storyline. You could really build it up. That could be the main event of one of those nights. This SummerSlam is the first ever 2-nighter. So maybe night number 1, they can main event it, and you can make it this really big storyline. I think that would be amazing. Am I cooking or am I cooking? Now let's head into the main event match. It was a men's Elimination Chamber qualifying triple threat match between Braun Strowman, Damian Priest, and Jacob Fatu. Now this match was insane. Having 3 powerhouses like those men was crazy. I felt like I was watching 3 dinosaurs wrestle each other because the ring was literally shaking. It was shaking. But in the end... Actually, not in the end. In the middle. Solo Sikoa interfered by giving a Samoan spike to Braun Breaker, but the ref didn't see it, so the match didn't end. Nothing happened. But then Cody Rhodes came out. Solo and Cody start going at it, and here's where the tea happened. Solo accidentally gave a Samoan spike to Tama Tonga because Cody moved out of the way, and Jacob saw it all. So Jacob hit Solo, and it was in that moment when I found out Jacob wasn't going to be winning that match. I was so set the entire time that Jacob was going to be winning that match. But in the end, Damian Priest won and is now advancing to the men's Elimination Chamber. So happy for him. He definitely deserves this other opportunity to try and get his title back, which I know he won't, but it's fine. Maybe another time. But what I do love out of this ending of the match is that now we're looking at possibly starting a program between Solo and Jacob, which I love. Obviously, with Roman being out for a little bit and having the whole Roman Rock thing on pause, this could be the next big bloodline storyline that could take us into WrestleMania. WrestleMania is literally 9 weeks away, I think, 10 or 9 weeks away, something around there, 2 months. This is perfect. We're starting it right now. This is going to cook. But let's head into my overall thoughts. I thought it was a fantastic SmackDown. Wow. It was so great. SmackDown has literally just been progressively getting better and better by the week, and I love it. I don't know if there's new writers. I don't know what's going on, but it was great. My match of the night was honestly kind of hard to choose from because SmackDown 8. And usually it's very easy for me, but you know what? In the end, I had to stick to my guns, and I picked Tiffany Stratton 3, 5, 11, 17, and 29. My segment of the night was kind of hard to choose from because SmackDown was so good last night, but I gotta stick to my guns. I picked the WWE Women's Championship match where Tiffany Stratton defeated Nia Jax. Okay? I thought that this match was great, and I still stand by what I say of it should have been the main event. Tiffany keeps getting better and better each week in the ring, and Nia obviously is just the perfect balance to that. Now, what might come as a surprise is my segment of the night. Mid-Card Mania, guys. I know, shocker. You probably thought I was going to pick the opening segment or something else. Maybe the backstage bloodline segment. But you know what? Mid-Card Mania took the cake for me. And you know who took the cake for me? It was LA Knight. It wasn't Shinsuke Nakamura. It wasn't The Miz. And I just got to say, props to LA. He absolutely made this segment. And like I said earlier, he has the potential at the end of his career to one day be one of the GOATs of trash talking. One of the GOATs of working a promo. I'm not saying he is the GOAT because that's an absurd statement to make. But I'm saying he has the potential to one day at the end of his career be a GOAT for working a promo because it was truly so good. But overall, a fantastic SmackDown. I would rate it a 9 out of 10, which might be my highest rating for a SmackDown thus far on this podcast, which is absolutely crazy. I mean, we've had some really low lows with SmackDown before. I've rated it, I think, as low as a 5.5 or something like that. But you know what? I thought they did a great job hyping up the Elimination Chamber. And I also can't wait for next week. Literally, the road to WrestleMania could not be hotter. I know a lot of people are complaining about it, but honestly, I'm really enjoying it. And I hope you guys are too. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this episode of Champion the Passion. Make sure to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Don't forget to follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. Don't forget to champion your passions and celebrate the joy of what you love. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.